All right, let's get into this next one. So my next one is going to be a film called Beast of War. And interestingly enough, this is my second shark movie this year, and my second shark movie from Australia, and my second shark movie that I thought was pretty decent. So this film is interesting. Is during World War II, a Japanese fighter sinks an Australian warship in the Timor Sea. Clinging to a makeshift raft, a handful of soldiers soon find themselves in a desperate fight for survival as a great white shark circles in the waters. Directed by Kia Roche Turner, who also did a film that I liked from a couple years ago called Sting. Yeah, actually that was 2024. He did the film Sting about the spider from outer space. That was kind of a fun film. But our cast in this, we've got Mark Cole Smith, Aswan Reed, Lee Haley, Sam Delich, Maximilian Johnson, and Joel Nankervis in this, as well as Tristan McKinnon. But it's a small cast, it's a small story, it's a low budget film. Comes in pretty short too, about an hour 27 minutes. So this is kind of it's based on a loosely based on a true story about a ship that did sink. During World War II. It's not the USS Indianapolis, but in a similar way, this crew was out adrift at sea, waiting to get rescued, and they had to fend off some sharks and stuff at times. So this is kind of loosely based on that, but it's a pretty cool setup, man. Like I was in on this, man. We get a little bit of setup in the beginning. There's a scene with our guys training. You kind of getting to know them, and then suddenly, boom! As they're traveling, the ship gets attacked and blown up, and next thing you know, they're in the water on this makeshift raft. And pretty quickly, a shark just swims in and starts going at these guys. And it's a monster shark, man. It's big and it's not playing no games because some of these guys are wounded. So there's blood dripping in the water. And what makes it interesting is, they kind of know that someone's going to come, to try to rescue them just because, you're not reporting in, you're not checking in. So, of course, they're going to think something's happening. But they're also this big wall of fog kind of settles into the area, which makes visibility terrible. Like they actually run into another group of soldiers on a raft, and they barely like if it wasn't for sound, that they probably would have slipped right past each other, man. That's how low the visibility is.
Oh,
Plus, you've
okay.
also got this shark in the water, and on top of that, there's like enemy air patrols that are still flying through the area. You know what I'm saying? Looking to take shots at anything they see moving in the water. But I thought it was pretty solid, man. The tension is solid. Actors do a good enough job. The shark itself looks pretty good. They went with a practical effect, and it kind of reminds me of the Bruce shark from Jaws. You know what I'm saying? In a way, except for some reason, man, they were pretty good at the angles that they got on the shark because it's kind of I mean, the budget concerns is my guess, but you don't get a whole lot of full bodiness. So when you get the shark, it's peeping up at the edge of this raft, grabbing someone,
Yeah.
taking them in, or there's shots where they're in the water with it and trying to evade it. But I thought it was decent, man, for what it was, man. I think I gave it about a 3.5 on my rating. I think I do like the other shark movie a little bit better than this. The um Fear Below, just because I think it had more elements going on instead of just being this singular situation. Because with that one, you've got the stuff with the gangsters and the divers and the shark, and this one is just these sailors and this shark, and it's solid, man. It goes by pretty fast. It doesn't pretty much overstay its welcome. There, it does try to get a little bit like meta, I think, toward the end and get into the head of one of these soldiers, like he's having regrets from something that happens in his past, and they throw a couple of shots in there. I was like, yeah, he could have left that out, but it's not terrible enough to distract it, and it comes to a pretty satisfying conclusion. But yeah, I had a good time with it, man. It's out now. You could rent it digitally. I was hoping it was going to get a theatrical release here, but if it did, it was very limited because I didn't even, you know, I don't think anything around here was playing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you where you
Yeah,
saw it
so you
either.
can rent it right now on all the digital rental places. It's out there. Voodoo, you got your iTunes and all that stuff. So they've all got it available for rental. if you want to see it. But do have a feeling too. This will probably get probably get picked up by one of these streamers as well. But Australia's not doing bad, for these kind of films. I mean, if you add in these two shark films and then the primitive war, like they're going through like a really, I like what they're doing over there right now.
Yeah, yeah.